can resume basketball activities. Bronny was participating in an off-season practice Monday with the USC basketball team when he collapsed. He was preparing to travel with USC on a European tour for games in Greece and Croatia. The team is scheduled to leave next week. Bronny's status for the trip is now uncertain. With Bronny enrolling at USC, school officials have been getting ready for a highly anticipated season for the men's basketball program. Bronny also has NIL deals waiting for him with a projected income of $5.9 million to $6.6 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
2 years ago, on Juneteenth 2021, KBLA Talk 1580 launched with a promise to give disenfranchised fellow citizens a voice in current political, economic, social, and cultural issues with an empowering, sustainable, and restorative language.
Everybody's got a little light under the sun, under the sun, under the sun, under the sun.
As we enter our third year, we are delighted that KBLA Talk 1580 consistently emerges as the talk station of choice for African American listeners. In a vigorous public opinion research study, the 2023 African American Media Issue Survey finds that for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 remains the most trusted, credible, and reliable media source in Southern California for African Americans and beyond. Furthermore, 80% of those surveyed agree that outlets like KBLA Talk 1580 provide honest and authentic content about the issues most important to the Black community directly from Black journalists who understand the issues that need to be addressed. At KBLA Talk 1580, we remain committed to curating conversations that matter to you. Thank you for your continued support. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. The station that sounds like the city looks. The city looks.
My spirit saying keep the faith. My lyrics say give them hell. My fear saying I need a break. The foot I put on neck saying keep the pace. Smile say I'm good, but stomach say I ain't eating days. Mom saying dream bigger, son, you need a lake. Pop saying save your penny, son, you need a place. My friends saying keep it pimpin' blood, you need a race. My fam starting this tradition now of being safe. My ex picking now to tell me how she want a space. She be stressed if I ain't text her every couple days. She ain't special, ain't no pressure when you run the game. Another extra in my section when I'm up at Dre's. Talk to me nicely, walk through is pricey. Till my mom's in the hills and Lil bro them icy. Jesus hand on the wheel, it feels like a vice grip. If I ain't give you the chills, I feel there's alright this. My brother wears heart on his sleeve. His only motivation now is loving his seed. We at Cuzzo graduation, manifesting our dreams. As I write the homie Lock, who should've played in the league. Man, it's hard being the woke. The only one scoring get ball to me when I'm open. They guarding me and I'm stroking from hard and deep in the ocean. This dream take guts, heart, arteries, and devotion. Swear to God, yo, count up my bad days, combat my past ways. Cause sometimes my pride just won't leave me alone. Cause home don't even feel like how we used to feel, dog. For real, Father Time just won't leave me alone. Come on. Shorty got your seed now, Daddy put the streets down. But meanwhile, my side chicks won't leave me alone. Let's go. Someone keep it real with me, follow up and build. Yeah. Put the steel down, the vibes just won't leave me alone. Hey yo, I like where it's going. This for all the mics that recorded, all the pages of my life and the advice that be flowing. Since a youngin', all I wanted this like a disorder. How I'm writing this so deep until the night that it's morning. I set the record straight. Full circle had to set the pace. Our moms never root for second place. All authentic, check the dates. We Vegas kids show up extra late. The top tier in my section came a long way from section 8. Like how much longer will my method take? If I'm a goner, then my GPS is heaven gates. I'm getting stronger, how much armor can my weapon break? I'm Vince Carter, put my arm in a collection plate. A big risk, I had to take it and go make
KBLA Talk 1580. It's a Miles Low Friday around here. Miles Low music. Now that one you can get right now. Play the hits. Play the hits. My pride just won't leave me alone. That's what Molly Bell was talking about, that line. Miles Low. But look, I am so excited, my friend, my colleague, and your friend and colleague. She is a comedian, an actress, a singer, a dancer, and a Directors Guild of America Emmy-nominated director. She was born with a mic in her hand, and she's taking it up now. I'm talking about the amazing Alycia Cooper. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
Good, good. I feel like I could just like pass you the mic and go home. It's Friday, right? We got a
Exactly.
microphone master here. What y'all need me for? So I know you out there on the picket lines, even though the DGA, the bougie directors got your deal, but you're also an actress, so you got to be
Yes,
down with us. Us,
absolutely.
the poor people over here, the actors and the writers. So how is that for you? The strike?
You know what? I was just telling somebody the other day that unfortunately I feel like it's going to be going on for a while because they have stockpiled episodes and series that they haven't even released yet, and I just don't see the incentive for them in negotiating anytime soon. And they also showed their hand when they were saying things like, we want them to lose their homes and,
Right?
language like that. So it's a bad time because this should have been handled a decade ago. These
Hello.
complaints were made a decade ago,
Yeah.
and now it feels like too little too late. When you first started seeing those pennies on the dollar residuals from these streamers, it should have been addressed immediately.
Yeah.
And somebody was laying down on the job. Somebody dropped the ball. I personally think somebody was getting paid. It just wasn't us.
Yeah, right, exactly. I have a few of those tiny checks myself. I always forget to cash them. When the check is smaller than the cost of a stamp, it really just makes you roll your eyes, right?
Yes. It's really bad. But they got slick now. They'll just direct deposit. They can save the stamp in the envelope.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is something we haven't talked about, but I wanted to talk about it with you. This video for this song by Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. It's filmed in front of a courthouse where a young black man was lynched. And the original version had clips from Black Lives Matter protests. And it seems like it's kind of a menacing song. It's kind of like saying, come over here where the white boys are and see what happens if you protest. But it's wildly popular, right? It's become a huge hit for this guy, his biggest hit by far. Um, how do you process this whole controversy and the song itself, by the way?
Well, first of all, the title is obnoxious. This try that in a small town. These guys always want to sound like they're so tough. And the only thing that makes these types tough is the gun.
Yeah.
If you drop them off in the hood and pulled off, they would drop dead in the middle of the street.
Yeah, right.
So it's like I can't stand the bluster in the title. Then if you're talking about violence, let's talk about all the violence.
Right.
Let's talk about Charlottesville. Let's talk about January 6th. Let's be even keeled in the imagery that you plan on using. But what do? You use Black Lives Matter imagery where 93% of the Black Lives Matter protests were peaceful.
Right.
0% of January 6th in Charlottesville was peaceful, but you conveniently leave that out. That's why we know what you were doing, and we know what your dog whistles were really about. I don't know why you were shocked that we figured it out. Jason Aldean. This is the same man in a picture with his wife in blackface.
Well, that I did not know. That's crazy. But
yeah, I think it was 2015.
But see, those kind of dog whistles or dog sirens, as I like to call them, we know that language. We know, because our lives sometimes depend on us understanding that language.
And we see through BS.
Right.
If it's any group that's going to see through it, it's us. We saved so many elections seeing through BS. We saved this country time and time again because we have that sixth sense to see through BS. And it kills me when we catch you and then you go, what do you mean? I was in front of a racist courthouse. Yeah. I said stuff that conjured up images of James Byrd and and Ahmaud Arbery, that's exactly who I saw when I was listening to the song.
Wow, yeah.
You know, so these are strong images. This country has a problem, and I don't know why you thought we were just going to forget it. And country music is racist. Whenever black artists try to come over and do country music, they go off.
Yeah.
And not enough of them stand up.
Even though arguably the roots of country music are, full of black fiddlers and blues chords. But that's it. I mean, you can't convince me this guy didn't know that Tennessee courthouse was where this black teenager was lynched in the 1920s. You think he didn't know that? Like, that to me, you ain't slick.
Yeah, but when I see you in photos on a golf course with Donald Trump, I already know what you're doing. You're an extension of MAGA.
Yeah, that's true. It's well said. Comedian Alycia Cooper is my guest today. I'm so happy about that on a Friday. I'm going to find out where you're performing, and I got to get your take on a lot of things. I guess Snow White is not going to be so white anymore. We'll talk about that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Can you believe it's already back to school season? To get you ready, Chase is holding a family event at its Crenshaw Community Center branch on Wednesday, August 2nd from 4 to 8 p.m. We're giving away backpacks full of school supplies and other goodies to the first 1,000 attendees. There will be activities for the whole family, from financial health workshops to lawn games and crafts for all ages. Chase, we make your back-to-school dreams happen. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
In our community, mental health struggles can sometimes go unnoticed. The suicide rate among Black youth has risen faster than any other ethnic group. Only 1 in 3 African Americans who need mental health care receives it. African American women are only half as likely as their Caucasian counterparts to seek professional mental health services. Even those who guide us spiritually can sometimes face their own challenges. 45% of pastors say they've experienced depression or burnout to the extent they need to take a leave of absence from ministry. As people of faith, it's time to acknowledge it's okay not to be okay. You can pray and get help. Visit normalizehelp.org for more information and resources. Join us in raising mental health awareness in our community. Funded by the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health and the Champion Counseling Center of Faithful Central Bible Church.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Find special savings on top brands like DeWalt. Right now, save $60 when you buy a DeWalt impact driver or drill for just $99 each. Plus, MVP's Pro Rewards members will earn 3 times the bonus points when shopping the Pro Zone. Shop in-store and online today. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. DeWalt offer valid 7/17 through 8/2. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts if any. Valid through 7/28. Subject to change.
Hosting a barbecue is a breeze, but managing my frequent heartburn, that was a lot more work. I would chew up to 10 antacids in one day. Now I take just one Prilosec OTC, and my heartburn is blocked for a full 24 hours. Just one Prilosec OTC a day gives me one and done heartburn relief. So I can go back for seconds on my world-famous burgers.
Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Alycia Cooper is my guest. She's a filmmaker, she's a comic, an actor, and a DGA director. Alycia, before I get all caught up in these stories, including one that I have a feeling we might not agree on, which I'm about to tee up next, that's always fun. Tell us where we can see you, see your films, follow your work. I mean, you are so prolific, and I gotta come see you next time you're in LA because I'm dying to do so. So tell us about how we can track you and support your work.
Well, I'll actually be at the Comedy Store on Sunset tonight at 8 p.m. So if anybody's in the LA area, that's where you can find me. So, and then I'm going on vacation for a week. I'll be in Cancun for a week. Then I'll be back at the Comedy Store. I'm usually there on Friday night.
Awesome. And if you see Ted Cruz while you're out there, tell him we said what's up. A well-deserved vacation, I must say. Alycia Cooper, Mitch McConnell was at a news conference on Wednesday at the Capitol, and he froze. There's been speculation it was a mini stroke or some kind of a major stroke or even a panic attack. He claimed he just was, faint, whatever that means. But, now we're finding out that he's had some falls recently, and that he is at 81, suffering some pretty serious health challenges. That seems to have put him in jeopardy politically because now they're talking about who could replace him, whether or not he should even be in that position. And of course, at least on social media, there is a raging conversation about whether or not there should be mandatory retirement ages in politics. That was crazy, though. He was in the middle of talking and he just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, at 81, everybody's going to have a few issues. I'm half 100, and I see the decline in myself. It takes me a lot longer to memorize than it ever did. It's just a part of life. It's a part of life. And after a certain age, if you still want to have a driver's license, you have to start taking these tests every year after a certain age. If we don't trust you behind the wheel, why are we trusting you to run the entire country? There's a certain age. By 81, we taking car keys.
You're right. But Alycia, everyone's 81 is not the same. Your half 100 is still, sexy and fly. Other people's half 100 looks like a half a 200. So, I mean, Maxine Waters' 81 is not, Mitch McConnell's 81. She still looks good in jeans and strutts around, swaggerifically in stilettos. So to me, age limit doesn't necessarily get it.
Well, I just think the age. I just remember growing up in D.C. and I grew up in the 70s, and I just remember hearing everybody say, "I can't wait to turn 55 and retire." Now these people are multimillionaires, and they won't move over.
That's
then
true.
They want to say how the youth are still living in their parents' basement because the great-great-grandpas won't give up the good job.
Mm.
You are already a multi-millionaire. Move around. And
okay.
It's not even their fault. The people keep voting these people in.
But so here's a question. Do you think both Trump and Biden should step aside in 2024?
I would. This is going to sound rude to say, but I would love to see a younger Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden is doing a really good job with what he has. But you got to remember,
you can't put him in a time machine.
the people that inspired us were the Obamas and the Kennedys because they had that vibrancy. They just
okay. All right. What about Bernie Sanders? Those Bernie bros are pretty fired up, and a lot of them are young, and he's I think he's older than Biden.
Yeah, it's an issue. This is how I look at it, Dominique. I look at what are other countries seeing when they see us? They see a bunch of old-ass men falling asleep in front of the microphone, looking like they pooping in a diaper.
Oh, Lord.
And to me, it puts us at risk because if I was in another country, I'd be like, yeah, it's time to plan an attack. These old effers over there ain't paying no attention to what's going on. I think it puts us in peril when we look that bad on an international stage.
Okay, Bernie is 81 too. Bernie is also 81. And, I hear what you're saying, but consider this, Alycia Cooper. Let's say we put an age limit and now we have young people like Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene in charge. Is that better? They're
No,
young,
that's
they're
actually
vibrant,
worse.
and they're full of bad ideas.
I think they're full of horrible ideas. But I think that the youth is not going to put up with that. The youth is way more savvy on those Marjorie Taylor Greenes and those Matt Gaetz. I think it will hurt them even more because the youth isn't going to elect that.
Well, I mean, they're in office now. The other thing is, again, like, to me, I agree with you in the sense that I think there should be some kind of fitness test like you have to do for your driver's license. And I'm not just talking about physical fitness. I'm talking about mental acuity.
Mental fitness.
Right?
Yes.
Because we already know Maxine Waters will run circles around Mitch McConnell, right? Even if they're the same age, because she is healthy. I mean, it's when we say black don't crack, it's not just the face and the body. I think it's also the brain. But it also has to do with how do you take care of yourself, right? I mean, there's a study right now that came out. It was on CNN yesterday. The people who eat olive oil in their diets are much less likely to get dementia and to die of dementia. Okay, so your brain, if you've been eating olive oil your whole life, or cold pressed organic coconut oil and fish, which is good for your brain, as opposed to the 45 diet, which is, 12 Diet Cokes a day, your 80 is going to be different than another person's 80. And also there's a question of ageism.
I get the whole ageism, but at some point, some things have to be collateral damage because some of these people are dying at the job. You know what I'm saying? Look at Strom Thurmond. You're 100 years old and you're still a job. Come on, people.
And I'm a bit of a hypocrite, Alycia, because I'm one of the people that's been saying Dianne Feinstein should step down. But it's not because she's old. It's because she clearly cannot do the job. Like she's physically and mentally not able to do the job. So to me, that's not just age related. She's 90. So she's almost 10 years older than Mitch McConnell. She's 90, but she doesn't want to step down. And to me, that's crazy not because she's 90, but because she is not able to do the job and is clearly sick.
Declining.
Yeah.
But there's studies that show that I can't remember what the exact age is, but that the mental decline begins in all of us. And so my thing is that it's just dying at the job. I don't even agree with lifetime appointments for Supreme Court justices, especially now with them being so partisan. What's the point? I just think that we need to start looking into some other ways to get this, to come up with a consensus to get this stuff done. And like you said, if it's age and testing, then that's what it needs to be.
Then that's what it is,
Then that's what it is.
I mean, I think your driver's license analogy is perfect. Actually.
Yeah, because I mean, people are watching us globally, and we look raggedy right now.
I mean, Thursday, Dianne Feinstein was supposed to be voting on that defense bill, and she just had to say aye or nay, and she appeared confused and didn't know the answer. And a different senator had to give her the cheat sheet. It's aye, say aye. That to me, you're right. That does not look good.
Problem.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It doesn't look good. And we need to have something in the Constitution or something that says if you need to be pressed on saying you can be removed.
Yeah, we can start there, right?
We have too many of these people showing up going, who am I? Where am I? They just confused. And you can't be confused in these positions. There's too much riding on it.
I mean, if you can't pass a true or false, that's a problem. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Well, that's a problem. That's an aye or nay. So you remember the controversy around The Little Mermaid, of course, Halle Bailey playing The Little Mermaid, and the online trolls and white supremacists freaking out because real mermaids are not black. Well, now this actress Rachel Ziegler has been chosen to play Snow White. And Miss Rachel Ziegler is Latina. She got a Golden Globe for playing Maria in West Side Story in 2021. And now they're going after her. They're targeting her because apparently the real Snow White was white. And I thought it was really sweet that Halle Bailey stepped up and gave her words of encouragement and was like, girl, don't worry about that. She says, we love you so much. You're the perfect princess. I love that.
Oh, that is so sweet. It's so sad. You know they're about to start the hashtag Not My Snow White. You know, and I think it's the word white that really messes them up. You know, I think the word white subconsciously makes stuff jump into their minds that it now belongs to the white community. Like, this is for us. This is our Snow White, the White House. I've always said when you put the word white in something, it's going to be a problem. You know, white people feel like the White House is their house and their house only. That's why the Obama had such a fight getting in there. You know, I think we need to take the word white out of a lot of this stuff. Like they took Death Row and changed it to the Row, and they took Murder Inc. and changed it to the Inc., and the Bullets became the Washington Wizards. I think we need to change the White House to the House because people have become
I like
way
that.
too
The
territorial.
House. Yeah, see you at the house.
The house.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what do
see
you
you
do
at the
with
house.
Snow
It's too
White? Because
territorial.
Snow and White are both white. I mean,
Snow White. What can we? 'Cause
just
Snow
the
and
princess,
White, yeah,
maybe?
both.
I don't know. You know, yeah.
Because it's about they're going to tear her up. But this is why the Hispanic community and the Black community should be more united. You know, I get so many trolls that are Hispanic on my page.
Really?
Stuff. It sounded like white supremacists.
Wow.
You can't afford to sound like white supremacists because they're coming for you too. We have got to all unite and work together for the greater cause of ending this kind of supremacy. And it's Not My Snow White is going to be a wake-up call for a lot of people that they're not considering you to be white. So jumping on an anti-Black train isn't the way to go.
Well,
and, it's just,
you're
yeah,
right,
yeah.
and that's another reason why I thought what Halle Bailey did was really, you know, gracious of her to step up. The director, apparently Greta Gerwig, who did the Barbie movie, is going to get rid of Prince Charming. I'm not sure how you tell the story without Prince Charming. That'll be interesting to see. And she's replacing the 7 dwarfs with mystical creatures of all races, shapes, and size. It's going to be interesting to see if the white supremacists get mad because, you know, Sleepy, Dopey, and Grumpy are now like a unicorn and an ogre or something. Like, you know, are they invested in dwarves or just a white princess? I guess time will tell.
Yeah, I guess time will tell. They're not happy with anything that changes, that brings in inclusivity.
Right, exactly.
You know, they bastardize the word woke so badly, it just makes no sense. So woke means what? That it's no longer majority white male, which is heterosexual white male? Because that's what I hear when y'all try to use the word woke.
I think woke is code for black. Yeah, like the war on wokeness, to me, is really about the war on black people. To me, woke is now like a code word in conservative circles for black or BIPOC.
So it's like the new N word.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the blue check on Twitter is the new Klan robe. Is the new what? I feel like the blue check on Twitter is the new Klan robe. You'll see people 10 Twitter followers and a blue check. And they say the nastiest, most racist stuff. I said, oh, this is the new Klan hood, the blue check.
Wow. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Alycia Cooper is my guest. You can go see her at the Comedy Store tonight at 8 o'clock on Sunset. Follow her on all the social medias. We are going to continue this conversation after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominic DePrimo when we come forward.
I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Justice Department is launching a civil rights investigation into the claims the Memphis Police Department used excessive force against black residents. The probe comes 7 months after the police beating of Tyree Nichols. Although the Assistant Attorney General says the investigation will look into the department's use of force and whether it targeted and discriminated against black residents on traffic stops. Bud Light's maker Anheuser-Busch is laying off hundreds of workers after the recent fallout of a boycott against its partnership with a transgender influencer. That's nearly 2% of its workforce in the United States. Bud Light lost its spot as the top-selling beer for the first time in over 2 decades. And that's the latest. I'm Ree Harris on your home for 24/7 news, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There are several key issues on the table for Bronny James after he was cleared by doctors Thursday to go home. LeBron's oldest child was in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center for 2.5 days after suffering a cardiac arrest on Monday. Despite improvement in Bronny's condition, doctors gave no indication of when the 18-year-old star can resume basketball activities. Bronny was participating in an off-season practice Monday with the USC basketball team when he collapsed. He was preparing to travel with USC on a European tour for games in Greece and Croatia. The team is scheduled to leave next week. Bronny's status for the trip is now uncertain. With Bronny enrolling at USC, school officials have been getting ready for a highly anticipated season for the men's basketball program. Bronny also has NIL deals waiting for him with a projected income of $5.9 million to $6.6 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
The other talk stations?
All day, all night, all white.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we sound like the city looks. Now celebrating 2 years of amplifying black and progressive voices. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Extreme heat can make you very sick and can be deadly. For Californians 65 and over, it's important to have a plan. Ask your healthcare provider if your medications affect your ability to cool down. Know the signs of heat illness and stroke, as well as the location of your nearest cooling center or air-conditioned space. And if you have loved ones over 65, be sure to check in on them on hot days. Learn how to stay safer from extreme heat at heatreadyca.com. Brought to you by the state of California.
Contracts, and grants. This is Rambo, and I'm back August 5th. Contracts, and grants. I'll be at the Westin Hotel, LAX, Saturday, August 5th. Me and my guests are fast-paced in the contracts and grants. They only speak 6 minutes each. I have LA County, I have the city. I even have Everett, the CEO of Lindustry, coming to talk to you guys. And for the first time ever, I have Metro's Director of Certification coming. We average over 700 attendees, so you know the rules. Parking's about $15 with the event validation, event, coffee, snacks, all free, paid for by Rambo and Lindustry. And yes, you can bring guests. So save your seat, DeonRambo.com. Listen, contract ready's only 2 hours from 10 a.m. to 12. But if you get there around 9:30, I'll probably be doing some Q&As and things like that before the events I never get a chance to do. I honestly keep saying, I don't know what's more important for LA businesses right now than local contracts. So I'm back, Westin Hotel, LAX, Saturday, August 5th. August 5th. It takes 2 minutes to register. DeonRambo.com. Go register now. DeonRambo.com.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader when the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
She has been an opening act for some of the biggest names in the comedy game. Dave Chappelle, the late Dick Gregory, George Wallace, Whitney Cummings, Paul Mooney, Tom Arnold, and Felipe Esparza. She is an actress. She's appeared on all kinds of shows. Last Comic Standing, America's Got Talent, Stand Up in Stilettos, Comic View. And she's also a director, a filmmaker. Alycia Cooper is my guest. If you want to catch her, she's at the Comedy Store on Sunset tonight at 8 p.m. Alycia Cooper, I got to ask you about Jamie Foxx, your fellow comic. You know, he's had a medical emergency. It's been ongoing for quite some time, really since April. He finally posted a video promoting his new project on Netflix. Very timely. Looks like they made him sit up and do a video for They Clone Tyrone on Netflix. Mm-hmm. But even with the video, now people are saying he is a clone, which is interesting. Did they get that from the movie, or is it just that we always have a conspiracy theory for everything, that that's not really him, it's a body double? I don't know what other rumors are going around. What do you want to say about your colleague, Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, like you said, it's very weird because he did do the movie. I saw it at ABFF recently. They showed the whole thing, and it really got a raucous applause. Everybody in the audience seemed to love it. And, but this cloning thing, I knew. It's certain things you know when you hear it. When we heard that he had a medical emergency, I said, uh-oh, here comes the clone. The craziest thing I've heard was that Whitney Houston is inside a Soldier Boy.
What? Oh, I missed that one.
Oh, you missed the Whitney Houston and Soldier Boy. I mean, just the craziest stuff. There's certain things you know when somebody falls out. Here come the anti-vaxxers. It's just certain things you already know that's going to come down the pipe. I knew it was going to come down the pipe. And his family had initially released a statement, and then they just never said anything else. So I think maybe a few updates here and there may have helped because, I mean, the right and the conspiracy theorists started running. What was the guy that wore the red beret man or whatever who said something crazy? Or it was like some people who said his eyes weren't matching, and he had, they all kinds of crazy. So that's when the family should come out and refute this stuff. That's the only thing I thought was missing. But no, to me it looks to be him. He said he went to hell and back, and he's on his way back. I believe that. And I'm just glad that he's making a full recovery. I never found out exactly what happened, but that's the part about people's medical privacy. You may not find out exactly what happened, but I'm glad he's back. I don't believe he's been cloned. And I think the best is yet to come for Mr. Fox.
Yeah. Well, I he's really super talented, and I thought it was good that he at least joked about himself being a clone on the video. And yeah, he looked like a man who's been sick. Surprise, he's been sick. I thought it was pretty amazing that the family was able to keep that a secret at all, because hard to keep anything secret now. Taylor Swift is coming to town. Her Eras tour is breaking records. She's a one-woman force, selling out hotels here in Los Angeles. Apparently wherever she goes with her tour, it helps the economy, from public transportation to limos to hotel rooms. But the LA hotel workers want her to stand with them. They're on strike. Unite Here Local 11, they're saying they want her to postpone her tour. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said that in the article that she's supported causes like this in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if she supported this one too. It's not like she needs the money.
Right.
So if I was her, I would absolutely support these frontline workers and these people that are like in the housekeeping arena. They make your life easier.
Right.
They help you make the billions that you're making. So support them. So I hope that she does the right thing and cancels. They've asked her to do it. She can always come back once their deal is solidified. They're not saying go away forever. They're just saying, can you not do this right now? We're in a dog fight.
Right.
And I hope she helps them.
And the thing is, those Swifties are pretty serious. If she postpones, they're still coming. It's not like they're not going to come to the show. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And also, look, you're an artist. You're going to always be in hotels. So being a hero to hotel workers is not a bad thing, considering your job.
Yeah, and you don't want hotel workers mad. You don't know what they're going to do to your bed. You don't know what they're going to do in your room. Let's keep these people happy. But see, Beyonce's coming in September. Are they going to ask her the same thing?
Well, probably so. Probably so.
Yeah. So that's another thing her camp has to start thinking about. Do we postpone?
Yeah.
And the earlier the better.
I mean, and I think after Snoop, moved his concert at the Hollywood Bowl, to me that puts pressure on other performers. Snoop is not necessarily the first one out on a picket line. So, meanwhile, Ice Cube is rolling around town with Tucker Carlson. I don't get that, but
yeah, that's a bad one. That's a rough one. I don't know, but my thing is also Tucker. This is what makes me so angry about the Tuckers and the Laura Ingrams of the world. You can't be black and rich and criticize your country if you're a Democrat. But you can be black and rich and criticize your country if you're siding and sounding like they want you to sound.
That's a great point. Like they're gonna take Brittany, Griner and try to throw her under the bus in Russia because she kneeled for the anthem. But yet it's fine if Ice Cube wants to. Yep.
Or LeBron James, they don't want LeBron. They tell him to shut up and dribble. He had the N-word spray painted on his Beverly Hills mansion. But you're telling him, oh, you're too rich, like that, like he's no longer black. But now Ice Cube, who's also rich, you're not telling him to shut up and dribble because he's saying what you want to hear.
Yeah, it's a really good
point. So is it that
point.
rich black people can talk or rich black people can't talk? What are you saying exactly?
I think they're saying we can only, well, I'm not rich yet, but hey, working on it. We can only talk if they're the puppeteers, I think is the real message.
And it's so glaringly obvious.
Yeah. Well, Alpha Phi Alpha, which is the nation's oldest black fraternity, is saying deuces to Florida. They're not going to have their 2025 convention in Orlando because of the governor, Ron DeSantis, who, has taken a very strong position against LGBTQ plus people, against black history, black studies, wants, they're going to start teaching that basically slavery was a job training program. The NAACP has issued a travel alert for that state, and they're not the only ones. A bunch of different conventions are saying, no, we're not doing Florida because of the so-called war on wokeness. Do you think that's a good idea, Alycia?
I think it's a great idea, and I wish everybody would divest from that ignorant place of that ignorant man. Remember Stevie Wonder stopped performing there a long time ago, and more people. You don't need Florida. There's 49 other states. We don't need them. Leave Florida to DeSantis and MAGA. Let them fight it out and eat one another because it has become ridiculous.
Now that's funny. I have for a long time. My friend said to me, we should just sell Alaska, and then we can pay for reparations. and I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. We could, pay down the national debt, pay out reparations. We don't really need Florida, but I mean Alaska. But now you're saying we don't need Florida. Now that I never thought about. Do we really need Florida?
Is horrible.
They're always a problem.
Is the state that stole the election from Al Gore. Florida has been a problem for a long time. I can't stand it.
They have great beaches, though, and I mean, it's actually a really nice place. If we could just maybe sage it out or do an exorcism or something, maybe.
Yeah, Trump is there. Any place Trump is can't be that nice.
Yeah, that's true. Mar-a-Lago
He brings everything down.
Talking with comedian, actor, and director Alycia Cooper. And we do have a lot more to cover when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward.
Civil rights leader John Lewis honored with the Forever Stamp. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Civil rights activist and Congressman John Lewis was revealed as the late public figure who's being honored on the United States Postal Service newest Forever Stamp. Lewis, who died 3 years ago, is a civil rights hero who was in the United States House of Representatives for Georgia's 5th Congressional District from 1987 until his death in 2020. From the Nashville sit-ins in the 60s to the Freedom Rides to the March on Washington to being a pillar of the civil rights movement, Lewis was a force who deserves such an honor. And for $9.90 on USPS.com, you can purchase your book of 15 stamps that honors the life and memory of Lewis. I'm Maisha Cairo for KBLA Talk 1580, and that is your K-Black Minute News. Need a fresh start? LADWP income qualified customers can get up to $15,000 tax-free to pay overdue water utility bills with the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. Benefit amounts may vary and will not impact other benefits. Visit ladwp.com/cares and apply today. That's ladwp.com/cares. Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Be heard. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are having fun on a Friday with Alycia Cooper, comedian, actor, director. And I've been meaning to ask you about this story on this fun Friday, Alycia Cooper. Thank you for lighting up our morning. So, Carly Russell from Alabama, she said she was kidnapped. She said she, was following a toddler or a baby who was left on the freeway and somebody jumped out of the trees and grabbed her. Now she's admitted that she made up the whole story. She never saw a toddler, and she is possibly facing some criminal charges. Prosecutors are saying they may be throwing the book at her. She may be held liable for the money that folks spent trying to find her, and they might be pressing charges on reporting a false incident, false reporting to law enforcement. These are Class A misdemeanors in Alabama. She could be looking at up to a year in jail. Thoughts?
Yeah, she made a lot of mistakes, and the first mistake was saying it was a white toddler. Because when you start saying it's a white toddler, they really gonna look into you. So, so I heard that all this was done to make her boyfriend jealous. This thing sounds so crazy to me because so many things went through my mind when I first heard the story. The first thing was, this is an old Dave Chappelle bit. Remember Dave Chappelle did a bit about seeing a baby and he was in a limo and it was 2 a.m. He was like, "Hey, baby, what you doing in the street?" And the baby was like, "I'm selling drugs," you know. So I was like, she just got finished watching Killing Me Softly because everything she's doing was, Googling, taking, and all this stuff. It's something she saw that made her say, "I'm gonna try this toddler on the freeway bit." Then the whole whenever your last name is replaced with Smollett, you done messed up.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they call
for
this girl
sure.
Carly Smollett. I said, "Oh Lord." And then the girl steals it. Everything is on tape now. So when you go to work and you take a robe and some toilet paper, 12 cameras just caught you.
Yeah.
And so what I thought about the toilet paper was this girl was sleeping in the woods. Because what do you need toilet paper for? She done went out there like a bear in the woods with her robe and her toilet paper. And that's where she was for 40-something hours. Remember, they were like, nobody helped her. She never checked into a hotel. She had that roll of toilet paper for a reason, honey. She was out there pooping in the woods like Mitch McConnell.
That's crazy.
And the Mercedes. Can we talk about the Mercedes? The young girl is 25 years old, and her parents obviously gifted her a Mercedes. She doesn't have a real job. She's working part-time at some spa, and she wants to be a nurse. But they obviously gave her something she didn't earn or work for. So I knew she was an entitled child because a Mercedes is an aspirational car. And look at how she treated it. She left it on the side of the highway with the keys still running and the door open. That's how somebody treats something they didn't earn. Everything about her just screamed entitlement.
I mean, what I hate is that I agreed with Candace Owens once in my life when she said that this seemed fishy. It seemed fishy from the beginning, and I did not want to say that because I know that black women, when we disappear, people don't pay enough attention to it, and I know that there are thousands of black women still missing, and I hope this doesn't undermine the search for their return, but it sounded fishy from the beginning.
Yeah.
What kidnapper jumps out the trees? I mean, that's just out the trees, and then, there was just a lot wrong with it. How can a baby be walking down the freeway and no one else sees it?
Right. But I'm trying to figure out what she took the wig off for. I don't care who abducted me. My wig going with me. So I'm trying to figure out, well, that was supposed to sell it even extra? Like, what's the wig off for? Like, oh, Lord, now you in the woods with some toilet paper and no wig. You really looking crazy. I guess because she knew she was going to stumble home at some point and she wanted to look wild-eyed and crazy. But and the parents, it seemed like the parents were buying it for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I think they were.
Once she arrived.
Well, I hate to say this, but, those of us with kids, we want to believe our kids. We want to defend them even when they're wrong, and it takes a long time sometimes for us to wake up and say, oh, my kid is scamming me. Talking with Alycia Cooper when we come forward. I'm going to pass you the mic, Alycia. You can talk about whatever you want. And, of course, you'll let us know about your films or whatever else you got going on besides tonight at the Comedy Store on Sunset. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Girl,
I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Okay, team, line's already around the block, and we're open in 10. Yesterday, we had 3-hour wait time.
Chef Pierre's staff is a little
Why
under-seasoned.
is this pot not boiling yet?
An experienced sous chef is the missing ingredient in his kitchen.
What do you mean, plate or a bowl? You work at La Pasta in La Cup.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
With Dominique DePrima and the fabulous Alycia Cooper. So glad that you were able to spend the hour with us today, Alycia Cooper. What do you want to sear into our brains? Thank you for the weekend. Would you like us to ponder today?
Oh, yes. I just want to thank you for I love your show. I just love what you do. I love the conversations you have, and you've always just centered what needed to be centered, which is our culture, and talked about the things that are necessary in such an erudite way. And I just want to thank you for even having me as a guest, and just wishing everybody a great upcoming weekend. Let's try to relax, relate, release. We're dealing with a lot of crap hitting us all at the same time. And if you can unplug from social media for a minute, I think that's the best thing we all can do. And in the meantime, I have my 6th comedy album out on iTunes called Alycia Cooper for President, because I figured you guys should just write my name in as a write-in candidate and let me run this country. You know. So,
if Cornel West can run, why not Alycia Cooper?
Exactly. So you get Alycia Cooper for President on iTunes. And I also have, Dominique mentioned that I'm a filmmaker. 2 of my films are in this new festival coming up on August 12th, a Saturday in Las Vegas, called the Las Vegas Premiere Film Festival. 2 of my films, Trade and Fat Stripper, are going to be seen at the 3 o'clock block. So if you guys are in Vegas or can make it to Vegas for that weekend, the guy Michael Schultz is being honored. He directed Car Wash, and that's going to show at 8 p.m. So if you can make it out to Vegas on Saturday, August 12th, please do.
Yeah, I got to interview Michael Schultz. What a delightful man, and he's actually directed so many films at a time when Black people weren't even allowed to direct films. So that's awesome, and congratulations to you on those 2 films. August 12th, Las Vegas Film Festival. I know we have some of our KBLA delegation out there in Vegas. Miles Lowe is from Vegas, so yeah, get out there, go and support Alycia Cooper's work. Thank goodness I'm sure for you, folks like you, who, when the acting work shuts down, you can at least continue your stand-up, right?
Yes. Stand-up is just the backbone for a lot of us. You know, you don't have to stop working because the comedy clubs don't stop. You know, even during the pandemic, what they did was they had less people that they could seat, but the shows never stopped. So we were really fortunate in that we always have something to fall back on. And at one time, I was complaining, I backed myself into a corner with this stand-up comedy thing, but God knew best. And I'm glad that I never stopped doing it, because it saves me a lot, too, because it's a way that I can it's my therapy on stage. I can get a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, plus you're hella funny, so I'm glad you never stopped and you kept all your other things going. Alycia Cooper, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Dominique, and hopefully I'll see you tonight.
Yeah, hopefully so. I got to get out to see you. The best of Tavis Smiley is up now. I'm Dominique DePrima. Hopefully you will be supporting, all of the great things that are going on this weekend. And you can find out about all of them on my social media and the KBLA 1580 social media. History's now, and we are making it together. Until Monday, be safe, be well, stay cool. One love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Justice Department is launching a civil rights investigation 7 months after the police beating of Tyree Nichols.